On Sammy Fuentes. We'll be back in Atlantic City in just a moment. We are moments away from our main event with Charles the Natural Murray, ranked 3rd in the world by the IBF. He wants a shot at the title. Sammy Fuentes trying to deny him. Al has a look at the matchup.
27-year-old Sammy Fuentes has had enough ups and downs to fill 4 careers, and along the way has boxed just about everyone of note in the lightweight and junior welterweight divisions. Here he beat Tony Martin by putting his shoulder to the wheel. Well, actually, to Martin's jaw. He did get a title shot against Julio Cesar Chavez, but Chavez, well, he was Chavez-like, and Sammy came away a loser. But he still feels that he can get a world title if he wins tonight. And his opponent, Charles Murray, feels that he is 1 win away from a title match. ESPN viewers have seen Murray in impressive wins, like this one over Mickey Ward. Charles, it appeared, was marching toward a world title, but that march ground to a halt when he took on Terrence Ali. This was supposed to be a prelude to a title shot, but Murray ended up losing to Ali by decision, and he was hanging on for dear life at the end. Since then, he's put together a 4-fight win streak. This one over Norman Bates, showing uncharacteristic early power. He felled Bates in the 1st round. Sammy Fuentes will be tougher, but he has a plan.
Give him angles, things like that. Offset him with the jab. Try to catch with the right hand. A lot of times at the beginning of the round, he always comes out with a straight right hand. So we're going to basically try to make him pay for that.
There is the man he will try to make pay, and that is 27-year-old Sammy Fuentes, a man who fought for the WBC Junior Welterweight Championship in November of '89, was stopped by Julio Cesar Chavez. Tonight's keys to victory, Al.
For Charles Murray, I think he needs to get off to a quick start. We've seen Fuentes knocked out early in a number of fights. Box, box, box. Do not stop. Just keep moving and throwing punches. For Fuentes, the right hand is a very key weapon, and that is the power punch that could hurt Murray. Constant pressure. I don't think you can let Murray breathe. That's what Terrence Ali did against him.
That sets up our main event, and we are set for the introductions. Let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, Top Rank Incorporated, in association with the undisputed king of beer, Budweiser, presents the featured bout of the evening. This bout is sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board. Boxing Commissioner Larry Hazard Sr., Chairman Jerry Gormley, Board members Gary Shaw and Richard Harrison, Deputy Commissioners Lawrence Wallace and R. Yogi Hiltner, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Frank B. Doggett, physicians at ringside Dr. Eric Wormser and Dr. Dominic Coletta Jr. The timekeeper is Arthur Spell and Earl Curry. The judges scoring this bout on a 10-point must system: Tommy Kazmarek, John Stewart, and Gene Williams. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Donald J. Trump's Taj Mahal Casino Resort here on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, New Jersey, let's get ready to rumble! 10 rounds of boxing. This is in the junior welterweight division. The referee for this contest is Joe Cortez. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the white trunks with red letters and blue trim, and weighing in at 141 1/4 pounds. He's originally from Loiza, Puerto Rico, now fighting out of the Big Apple, New York City. His professional record, 23 victories, 19 by KO, against 9 defeats and 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, Sammy Mangani Fuentes. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with black letters and weighing in at 141 pounds. Originally from Rochester, New York, and now fighting out of Newark, New Jersey. His professional record, an excellent one, 24 victories, 16 KOs, only 1 defeat, ranked number 3 in the world by the IBF. Ladies and gentlemen, Charles the Natural Murray.
A lot of Charles Murray fans in attendance. Joe Cortez with the final instructions.
All right, gentlemen, the rules were given to you earlier. Sammy, ya yo di las reglas ahorita. Dame una pelea limpia. Give me a clean fight. Shake hands. That's la mano suelte.
Scheduled for 10, 23-year-old Charles Murray, 27-year-old Sammy Fuentes. Charles Murray who since the loss to Terrence Ali has won 4 in a row, has had only one fight this year. That was in February, was supposed to fight in May. Look at Fuentes come out with a quick right hand.
Well, Murray said he does that at the beginning of every round, we'll make him pay. This time he didn't make him pay. This time he just ducked it. They knew Fuentes likes to do that.
Murray was injured in a car accident in May with his stablemate Al Coles driving. He injured his chest, but he's okay now.
Cole will be back. You and Dave Bontempo will be here for the championship match when Cole goes fights James Waring, huh?
Should be a good one. Should be a real good one. Big chance for Al Cole.
He's a member of the Triple Threat Gym, of course. That's why that is based in New Jersey. That's why all the fans here for Charles Murray. Murray's starting to get that jab off.
Murray's a native of Rochester, New York. But ironically, it was in Rochester that he lost to Terrence Ali. Quiet start.
Fuentes started out very aggressively, but now has really calmed down. I honestly think neither man can afford to start this way, Sam. I think both men need to be a little bit more aggressive early in this bout.
And yet the feeling is that Fuentes gets better as the fight goes along.
Yeah, but
some people feel that.
Yeah, that's true. And he's been knocked out early by Frankie Randall. We saw him here knocked out by Frankie Randall. He got knocked out by Freddie Pendleton. He got knocked out by Rodney Moore, all within the first 2 rounds. But he's also scored his share of early knockouts, like against Vince Relaford and Santos Cardona, both pretty good guys. So he can get you out. But more important than anything, just to establish the pressure to Murray, to let him know he's not going to have a pass here. There's the right hand by Murray, but not a straight one. Murray wants to stay off those ropes. Now, it's not that Charles Murray can't punch either. We've seen him punch with power. He's not considered a huge puncher.
Murray's last fight, February 8th, here in Atlantic City. He stopped Alberto Alcaraz in the 9th. So much. Put that jab out there, but wasn't doing much with it.
Well, the jab is a staple of Murray's attack. You have to be very careful not to throw it out and leave it out, because Fuentes will counter with a right.
Caution to Murray to keep his punches up. End of round 1.
Here he was able to get the jab in against Fuentes, and that's such an important weapon for him. He's going to have to continue to do that during the course of this bout.
Once again, Fuentes' first punch of the round was a straight right hand.
Thank you for that survival kit in Barcelona. It was very nice. I was really surprised by that. That wasn't surprising.
You want to make sure you get through the experience.
You think that bagel will be stale by, let's say, August 5th? Here are the punches in round 1. Murray with an edge, but not a huge edge. And gets a warning from Joe Cortez for something.
Wants him to keep his punches up.
Ah, that was it. Good right hand by Murray. Good counter straight right hand. He may have stunned Fuentes momentarily. Yeah, I think he did. And he thinks he did too. He just can't find a way to follow up on it.
Fuentes almost switched to southpaw. He has a tendency to do that.
And sometimes that's when he gets in trouble, because he'll get nailed with the right hand as he switches.
Slapping jab and a straight left. Got in by Fuentes.
Really a jab, but it landed with a lot of authority. You know, when Fuentes uses his own jab, the thing is you want to out-jab a jabber anyway. And that's what Fuentes did a little while ago.
That seemed to liven up Sammy Fuentes. He's started to pick it up a little bit.
And I think it also let Charles Murray know that the guy in front of him can hit with some authority. Terrence Ali was able to hurt Murray, especially toward the end of their bout, had him in big trouble in the last round. And Fuentes certainly punches as hard as Ali. Murray doesn't really want too much action. Now there's that bouncing of the shoulder there. That's a little move, illegal move that Fuentes does. He makes it look like he's bouncing, and then he does what he did to Tony Martin, which is broke his jaw. Good right by Murray.
A quick overhand right, landed cleanly. Murray with a better jab, trying to set up that right hand. He lands it again. Murray picking it up.
He's hurting Fuentes with those right, and the jabs are what made it possible.
Some good moves as Murray responds to the cheers of the crowd.
And the jabs are what's making it happen for Charles Murray.
Another straight right hand by Murray, scoring.
There is power in the Murray right. We mentioned it earlier. Not known as a one-punch knockout artist, but he can hit with authority.
Fuentes covering up a little as Murray opens up at the end of round 2. The action picking up. And finally, the fighters separate.
It's Hank Johnson and Percy Richardson leaning in.
The right hand is the key. Start throwing more right hands. Off your jab, though. Understand? The right hand, off the jab, then follow with the hook. It's there. That little looping right hand, let it go more often. Keep the jab working. Come with the right hand, then follow with the hook. Don't forget the body, understand?
Remember I mentioned to you about this jumping up and down? Look, here's what happened against Tony Martin 3 years ago. He broke Tony Martin's jaw. Now, watch tonight. Same deal, same deal. Sammy Fuentes does that as if he's just bouncing. That's a weapon. Well done by the boys in the truck and ladies in the truck as they dig back in our archives to show you what happened then and what happened now.
Good round for Charles Murray in the second. Out for round 3. Well, I will say this, that Murray was smart enough after the first contact from the shoulder to lift his head up and stay away from it.
Because he remembers it too, I'm sure. There is the second round in which Murray dominated in power, and Fuentes comes out left-handed. Now, we have Hank Johnson with us, and Hank, the key there, it seemed, with Charles landing the right hands was that the jab got going.
Yes. Absolutely right. The jab is what's setting up everything here. But also the body attack is setting up the right hand. But he has to start with the jab. He cannot abandon the jab.
Hank, we talked about Fuentes jumping up and down and getting that shoulder into the jaw of Charles Murray.
Yeah,
have you warned about him? Yeah. Have you warned Charles about that?
Yes. But Charles is aware of it already, so I don't have to tell him. But he knows that that's one of the tactics that he also likes to use. But
that's interesting.
Yeah. So he's very aware of that.
Okay. Thanks, Hank. We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
That's intriguing. I never saw Charles use it.
Hank Johnson, the trainer of Charles the Natural Murray. This is round 3, scheduled for 10. Sam Rosen along with Al Bernstein. Ringside in the Mark Edis Arena at the Trump Taj Mahal in Atlantic City. Glad you're with us for Top Rank Boxing. Harry Tompkins away on assignment. The Tour de France bicycle race. He'll be back in a couple of weeks.
It's been a pleasure working with you over these last 2 weeks.
This has been great.
Nice reunion, and you're going to continue on here with Davey Bontempo as I head away, and then when Barry comes back, before Barry comes back.
Dave's sitting behind us practicing.
Yeah, he's whispering to me what to say today. Good body work there by Fuentes. But boy, he needs to unlock some keys. Now the switching has helped him just a little bit in this round, not too much.
Seems like he wants to get a step closer with that right hand.
And I'll tell you, when Fuentes jabs, he's much more effective. I mean, you know, everyone is, but Fuentes has a pretty decent jab. When he's been using it, he's been effective. But he doesn't always. Even Murray has abandoned the jab a little bit.
Good right hand by Fuentes. Backs Murray up.
And what a difference in this round where Fuentes has been pretty competitive.
Notice when they clinch and Fuentes feels Murray's chin down on his shoulder. He starts that bobbing, that jumping up and down.
This has been a better round for Fuentes, but now there's Murray. See, when he jabs, everything becomes available to him. The right hand and uppercut and all the rest. Even jabs that don't land.
Fuentes switching. End of round 3. Fight for Sammy Fuentes at age 27. A win over Charles the Natural Murray could give him one more chance at a title shot. A loss could put him on that spinning wheel that says you're a perpetual opponent.
Slight edge to Fuentes. I ended up giving him the last round. Oh, and there's a good hook by Fuentes. And it's because Murray abandoned that jab. Now he's starting to get back to it a little bit.
Murray coming from different angles, has tried to go underneath a few times.
That's more, less movement from Murray, too. He wants to set down on his punches a little bit. Look, blood, I think, from the mouth of Murray.
Fuentes just wading
There he
in.
is with the shoulder again. You got to give him a warning. That referee's got to be. Joe Cortez is an excellent referee, but I think he's going to have to be aware of that. And everyone on earth knows what he did to Tony Martin, and they see him doing it. So he shouldn't get away with that.
Good right hand by Fuentes. And a right hand lead scores by Fuentes. Landed a few more here in the 4th round.
Now he's starting to put a little more pressure on Murray, even though Murray is still landing well.
Murray's got to keep him off.
And that's where the jab comes in, obviously.
2 quick ones there.
Imagine, I mean, think of this list of people Sammy Fuentes has fought. Harry Arroyo, former lightweight champion. Frankie Warren, junior welterweight champion. Frankie Randall, Roger Mayweather, Tony Martin, Freddie Pendleton, Santos Cardona, Rodolfo Aguilar, Julio Cesar Chavez, Rodney Moore. I mean, these are all, I mean, that's
real good.
That's more than a career there of tough fights.
You can understand when you see a record of 22-9, that left him scoring for Fuentes. You can understand he's taking on the best.
Absolutely. In this case, it's a 22-9 that's more like a basketball or baseball record of 22-9. It's a good one.
Fuentes scoring quickly inside. Murray countering.
And Charles Murray may be making this a more difficult fight for himself. A little more movement might be in order. Look at the jab. When Fuentes jabs, he can walk in and really be effective.
And the left hook scores, but a nice comeback by Murray. A good flurry.
But even though Murray is scoring well there, this is now about being fought at the pace and in the style that Fuentes wants.
Murray a little low.
I'll tell you what's making the difference, Sam. It's that Fuentes is trying the jab, using the jab to get in.
Sammy Fuentes applying the pressure on Charles Murray as time winds down in round 4. Murray right ahead of him.
And I'll tell you, if Charles Murray does get a title shot next, though, Terrence Ali might have a considerable gripe, considering the fact that he did beat Charles Murray. But it wouldn't be absurd to give Charles a chance because he's an excellent boxer.
Sammy Fuentes putting on more pressure, and you can see the punch numbers improving for Fuentes. The percentage still with Murray.
The jab is making all the difference for Fuentes. He is jabbing his way in and just now starting to use his power. But you have to be careful if you're Fuentes. While you're jabbing, the counter right hand can come over from Murray, and that punch is hurt. See the jab of Fuentes, it's made a huge difference in the last couple of rounds.
Murray's got to watch himself. He's gotten a couple of warnings from Joe Cortez, a couple of low blows. He's pushed a little bit, so he's got to be careful. Now scorecard looks like this. Murray ahead by 2 points. I have it a little closer by 1 point.
And there were a couple of marginal rounds in there where it could have gone either way. And of course, we're still so early in this bout, relatively speaking. See, Murray's boxing on the inside now at Fuentes. There is no pretense at movement in boxing. So it's a Sammy Fuentes kind of fight. He may not win it. Maybe Murray will win it this way, but it'll be tougher for him. See, the lead right hand gets in by Fuentes.
Murray's getting hit a lot more than I'm used to seeing him. There's a quick uppercut by Murray that scored.
Because of the style he's fighting Fuentes in here. And of course he's landing a lot, but
good exchange. Fuentes landed 3. Murray countered with 1. Taking turns with quick flurries.
And you know, it's the Fuentes left hook and the Murray right hand. It's been the power punches. Nice uppercut by Murray. A very good action bout in which both men are doing some of what they want to do. Nice overhand right by Murray. Again, though, he has really abandoned the jab, Sammy. And it's Fuentes who's picked it up. See, look at Fuentes. Jabbing his way. Now, that's what he has to worry about, though, the counter right over the jab by Murray.
Murray has squared himself up to Fuentes.
Let's go. Get him out.
There's Fuentes trying to do that bouncing.
It's so blatant. Yeah, finally, a warning. Thank you. I mean, this is so blatant, it's ridiculous. You got to take it pretty soon. If he does it one more time, I got to tell you, I'd take a point away. Why am I so volatile lately about this refereeing thing?
Murray using that right almost as a jab. Now he switches to southpaw, giving Fuentes a different look.
And Murray, for one of the few times, switches to lefty, which he does in the gym a lot, but very seldom does in a fight. Key moment.
And it's been a good switch. He's landed. Fuentes switches to southpaw. End of round 5.
He crossed up Fuentes, switching lefty himself. Landing right hooks like that one when he switched to the southpaw stance after Fuentes had switched. And Murray told us earlier today, didn't he? I can do it. I just don't do it very often in bounce. He looked good as a lefty.
I thought he was very effective.
You know, there are punches in the last round. Even though Fuentes landed good power punches, Murray landed more. You know, I likened it to, a lot of people don't know that Michael Nunn, in his heyday as a middleweight, and I assume still, can fight very well as a right-hander. And in the gym would fight terrific as a righty to switch, but very seldom did it during actual matches.
Fuentes moving inside.
He's working on the inside or trying to.
Straight right hand. Fuentes has used it as a lead several times and has scored with it. You're watching Top Rank Boxing. We are live at the Trump Taj Mahal in Atlantic City. Our main event, Charles the Natural Murray against Sammy Fuentes. Sam Roseman along with Al Bernstein ringside. Glad you're with us.
Excellent matchup. And I'll tell you, the interesting thing here is that both men have done some very good things in this bout. It hasn't been enough to totally dominate. Oh,
nice straight right by Murray.
And there it is what I said before. The power comes from left. Fuentes' left took for him tonight, and from Murray's right hand, and they both landed.
There goes Fuentes, trying to get that shoulder up there. And a couple, Cortez is talking to him more frequently about it. Right hand for Murray. Murray has gotten his right hand in there several times in this round.
And were he using his jab more, would get that punch. There it is. He set it up with the jab. Even a jab that doesn't land.
Fuentes in a little bit of trouble. He's taking a lot of punches in this round.
Now remember, Charles Murray tired badly against Ali in the later rounds when he threw a lot of punches. Would that happen here?
Murray's accuracy has been good. Quick uppercut scoring. Caught Fuentes moving in. Fuentes landed one right, but pays a price. Good left hand by Murray.
You can see the power punching of Murray is good, but it's not devastating, is it? It's not knocking Fuentes out. You get Fuentes out early, but he is certainly winning these rounds.
Murray, from all angles, has been very effective here.
If Fuentes weathers this, which it looks like he's doing, I'm telling you, look out for the 7th, 8th, and 9th rounds with Fuentes. He might be able to mount a comeback. As good as Murray's looking. Now Murray switches lefty as soon as Fuentes does. We'll see if he's still effective in that stance.
Fuentes coming in. This time, Murray switches back to right hand and scores. Good right hand by Murray. Snapped the head back. Fuentes has been caught repeatedly by Murray's right hand.
One of our best rounds of the year right here.
End of round 7. Excuse me, round 6. Good action. And the crowd here enjoying it.
A lot of resiliency. And showing also, you must say, that Charles Murray is not a huge puncher. He's a good puncher. He's a sharp puncher. But he is not a huge puncher.
Round 7 scheduled for 10. There have been no knockdowns. There's been good action.
Oh, work out.
Good right hand by Fuentes. Look at the numbers. Total for the fight. Fuentes throwing more. Murray much more accurate.
And you know that is not a huge edge. It's a big edge, but not huge. This
Well, let's see what Murray does in the 7th round after a very active 6th round where he threw a lot of punches. Let's see if he can follow up on it or whether he'll kind of coast through 7th.
I've got Murray by 4 points, and believe me, it could be closer than that because there are a couple of different rounds. What do you have?
I've got Murray by 3.
Yeah, so it's, 6-1. Now, Fuentes, when he used his jab, was effective. He's starting to use his jab again, but Murray's coming over it with the right hand, the counter right.
We got it,
The jab just kind of bothering Fuentes a little bit, but not really big.
Fuentes not working as hard on the inside as I would think he might. This juncture, because he could be tired too. He took a lot of punishment that round. Good right hand, that might have stunned him. Yes.
And again, that overhand right has been open since early in the fight. That's what Hank Johnson alluded to in the 2nd round when he talked to Charles Murray about setting up that right hand with a jab. And here comes Fuentes.
And there's a smart move by Murray as he grabs a little bit after Fuentes got a head of steam.
Wait the backhand, wait the backhand.
Dropped in a couple of quick right hands.
Fuentes with the trying to land the lead right. He's better off when he starts it out with the jab, obviously.
Those aren't sharp jabs by Murray at all. He's almost wasting it.
Well, he's trying to use it to set up the right hand, but they're not working for that at this moment. There's Fuentes, he's a lefty, and yes, there goes Murray, and right away he's able to land the jab as a lefty. He is deterring Fuentes from switching now by switching lefty himself.
Fuentes wading right through.
And you know what? Immediately Murray knew it wasn't working as a lefty, went right back to right. He's a very smart boxer, Charles Murray.
Murray looking for an opening and scoring with a left hand. End of round 7.
I think when he uses the jab to set things up, can land the right. Now that wasn't a perfect right, but it landed on the temple and can do some damage.
It's round 8, scheduled for 10. Charles Murray ranked number 3 in the world by the IBF.
And you see Fuentes come out with more conviction here. If he's going to make something happen, Fuentes better do it now.
Fuentes landing. That's the numbers in the 7th round. Again, Fuentes a few more, Murray more accurate. That's been actually the story of just about every round.
They've both thrown a lot of punches in the general scheme of things. Fuentes a little bit more, obviously.
Well, lancing right hand by Fuentes that time.
While Murray was posing and trying to think whether he should throw his own right hand, Fuentes threw his. And you're right when you say Murray's jab is thrown with as much conviction as it was earlier.
Murray has thrown his shoulder in there a little bit too. We talked about. That's a good combination by Murray. Just missed with that straight right hand. Fuentes, a man with a lot of determination. He hangs tough.
And they were very vehement to us today about the fact they felt he was going to win this bout, that he had the power to get to Murray. I don't think he's hurt Murray badly in this bout. In the 2nd round, or rather the 3rd round, I think he stunned him a little bit, but not badly.
There was a good jab by Murray. Fuentes comes right back with the right hand. This is tough to discourage.
Once he gets into the rhythm of a fight, you've seen him knocked out early, as I said, but when he gets into the rhythm of a fight, it took Chavez 10 rounds to get 9.5 rounds to get him out of there.
Fuentes just missing with a couple of his punches. And here's Murray with a 3-punch flurry. Murray's almost better when he uses that right hand as a jab.
Yes, he's been landing it as a lead right hand, that's true. But also part of that's because the jab is getting in there. It's setting, oh, wow. Now look, that did nothing. Fuentes kept coming forward. Amazing. I mean, that was a great punch by Murray. And Fuentes now has hurt him with a couple left hooks, I think, or at least stunned him.
He's come back strong after Murray landed a couple of good left hooks. Final seconds of the 8th round. Fuentes hanging tough as Murray bangs away. We'll be right back.
And he just walks right in. Wow, that's not to denigrate Charles Murray. That was a great left hook, but Fuentes just walked through it.
I don't think he even blinked.
No, just kept coming. It's a small annoyance to him. But a big round for Charles Murray.
Round 9. In the 8th.
Oh, my. Closer than I thought. I thought Murray won it by more. But
again, good percentage by Murray, landing 50%. He's been very accurate throughout the fight.
Come on, work out, come on.
He's trying to get in real tight.
now, I believe that Charles Murray's ahead by a good margin in this bout. But there have been a lot of close rounds in this match. And there is my card. Now, I've got Murray by 6 points. But I've given some of those close rounds I've ended up giving to him. So if some of them didn't go, then Fuentes is still in the hunt. But I'm sure Fuentes understands he's got to be behind by a lot.
I agree with you. I think Fuentes has done some good things. I think that Murray has done a little bit more in some of those close rounds.
Well, that's what I feel, too. And I think he's been a little more accurate, as punch profile has shown us.
Murray got in a left hand.
And, you know, Sammy Fuentes has landed some major league left hooks. Left hooks I think he thought might have hurt Murray to the point where he could knock him out. God knows Murray has landed some huge shots. So both these men have gotten it done to a point here. But Murray has gotten it done more often,
I think the one thing that could make Murray a lot better, and he's real good, is if he could just get more sharpness in his jab.
Yeah, normally that's been a very good weapon for him. I think part of it also is that Fuentes has nullified that punch a little bit. Because we've seen Murray's jab be very effective before.
Landing the right hand very well.
And you know, when Murray leans in like that, you'd think he'd be easy to hit, but not too many people have been able to. Ali was able to, but he's got that good short, good straight punching with good hand speed.
He's made Fuentes miss a lot in this round.
Yeah, it's been a very effective round for Murray. It's not a huge round. Not something where he's landing real showy punches, but he certainly has been landing and avoiding punches and boxing well. And that may be all that's required of him right now.
Fuentes does not go away. He's staying right on top of Murray, making him work every second of the round, and Murray effective at the bell. Good final seconds for Murray. Closed the round very well.
A round where he already had been doing well. Remember those keys to victory? Well, Murray get off to a fairly quick start. He has boxed, but actually a lot of what he's done has been effective on the inside. Fuentes, I thought the right hand was going to be his big weapon. Instead, it's been the left hook. He has applied pressure, but it has not been as effective as he would like.
Last round, touch gloves, right, buddy?
There is the right hand by Murray, and there it is again. So he lands those big rights and good combinations right at the end of the round. And that was some good moments for him.
And nice head movement, making Fuentes miss and countering.
Keep your hands up and don't get careless.
Final round. It's been a good action fight. The veteran Sammy Fuentes on our scorecards is behind. Crowd cheering Charles Murray, who lives in South Orange, New Jersey. Grew up in Rochester, New York. For the fight, Fuentes has thrown more than Murray. Murray has landed much more accurately than Fuentes.
And in the last round, Fuentes landed only 15 of 91.
Good uppercut by Murray. There've been no knockdowns. Good pace to this fight. And a good test for Charles Murray as he stands right near the top of the world rankings. And may have one more fight, as manager Jack Dell was telling us, may have one more fight before negotiations for a title fight.
And you know, Sammy Fuentes, from his standpoint, has shown he is not a shot fighter by any stretch of the imagination. He has, even though I have Murray ahead by a decent margin, and it could be a lot closer. It's not, you know, I believe that, but don't be shocked if it's closer, and it wouldn't be inappropriate if it was.
I have it 1 point closer, that's all.
And I'll tell you, what Fuentes has shown here is, and against some other boxing, he might have had him out with some of those left hooks he's landed. He's put pressure on Murray, but Murray's just boxed well. You know, Fuentes is, when he turns lefty, Murray doesn't want to turn lefty, so he's doing the next best thing. He's squaring himself up to Fuentes so he can land the lead right anyway, with more power. Murray, you can see, he's kind of in his prevent defense now, right? Wants to get through the round and land some shots and not get knocked out.
Quick uppercut by Fuentes, and another one.
Is he getting tired? Is this a repeat of the Terrence Ali where Murray in the last round will take punishment?
I think Murray's just making a mistake.
He may be fatigued also, Sam. He's laying on the ropes, not the place he wants to be. A lot of bad things can happen.
Down.
You get a great view of it.
Much on those punches by Murray. Now he gets in a sharp left, follows up, takes a good right hand for Fuentes. Murray trying to tie him up.
And Charles Murray looks a little tired to me. And he's getting it the same as with Ali. He's backing straight up with his hands down. Can Fuentes pull a miracle off because of it? We'll see.
The crowd chanting for Charles Murray. Fuentes pressing and doing a good job in this round. It's been a real good round for him.
He has won the round, but has he won the war?
Oh, good left hook. Murray in some trouble. Another big left hook by Fuentes. You cannot be saved by the bell in any round. Murray needs to survive another 5 seconds. He does. Oh, it ends toe-to-toe.
Great match. As Percy Richardson looks at Charles Murray, I have to tell you, the one thing about this match that will help the winner is that it was such a tough match. I assume the winner is Charles Murray, though Fuentes, you'll see the smile on his face. I think mostly because he knows he gave a great effort. This was not an easy match.
This was a good test for a world-ranked fighter who thinks he's ready for a title shot.
And that could apply to either man, but in this case, we think it applies to Murray as the winner, because we feel he did more. At the end there, he gave his people some anxious moments, didn't he? Laying on the ropes, and Fuentes, he cranked up that left hook. That's what was available to him, and he cranked it up as best he could.
He landed some good ones.
These boxers, there's the totals. You see the margin was narrowed a little bit by Fuentes in the last round. These gentlemen threw 235 punches collectively in round 10. Fuentes alone threw 134. Did he try and win that bout? Yes. At the end, he sure did.
Well, Fuentes may be on the downside of his career, but he certainly proves he is tough and competitive. Whoa, look at that.
And there's the hook. Now, you got to know that when he lands those hooks against some people, some of them, like that last one, might send somebody out.
All right, let's find out who won it. Let's go to Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we go to the scorecards here at the Trump Taj Mahal in Atlantic City, how about a round of applause for these two fighters? This was one hell of a fight. Sammy Fuentes and Charles Murray. We go to the scorecards. John Stewart scores the bout 97-93. Gene Williams has it 98-92. And Tommy Kazmarek scores it 96-94 for the winner by unanimous decision, Charles, the Natural Murray.
Unanimous decision for Charles Murray. A really big win for him against a tough Sammy Fuentes. We'll be right back. For Sammy Fuentes, let's go to Al in the ring.
Well, Sammy made a brief guest appearance in this interview. Charles, excellent performance by you, especially when you're able to get back to using your jab to land that right hand.
Yeah, he worked pretty good. I'd like to say congratulations to him because he fought real good.
Oh, I guess. Did he? How hurt were you at the end with those left hooks? Were you just tired?
They was good left hooks. I just was tired a little bit.
Okay.
But they was good left hooks, though.
Are you ready for a title shot now in your mind?
What you think?
Well, I think you fought very good.
Okay, baby.
Okay, Jack Dell, quickly, what are the title possibilities for Charles Murray?
We're waiting to see what happens Saturday night. Charles is ready for anybody in the world. He's a young man. He's got a great future, and we're with it.
All right, congratulations, Charles.
Yep, thank you, baby.
All right, good performance by Charles Murray, and we will be back.